Welcome back, strange crew. You are tuned into another trip through life's deep cuts. We hope you enjoy the ride.
Keep it strange.
Hey, strange crew, we're Red Cardinal.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Strange Grooves. We're so excited to be on the big comfy couch today with an amazing band and a good friend of mine, Red Cardinal, Corey Jellison, and crew. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us, Kate.
Please take a second to introduce yourself.
My name's Corey Jellison.
Hi, my name's Andrew.
My name's Mike.
And I'm Scott.
And we're Red Cardinal.
So tell us a little bit about your band, about how you guys got started. Who the hell are you guys? Why should people be listening to you? What's going on? Tell us a bit about yourselves.
Well, on one of our songs, Stranger Days on our album, you should already know.
Mm-hmm.
I
do, but you're not speaking to just me today.
Well, these guys, we've joked about that, like, we should put that on a shirt, like, you should already know. We started this band a couple years back in 2023, right in the early winter. To make a long story short, we made a lot of changes in the band, and in 2024, we basically evolved.
Yeah, got to do that once in a while.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, when you're working with certain people, sometimes if it doesn't work out, but then you find the ones that you find, like we ended up getting Mike, our guitar player, a longtime friend of Andrew and ours, and mutual friend of Scott, and then a month later we got Scott. And this all happened last year, and then we ended up working away at our sound to evolve even more better to get that alternative sound out. And we played a lot of shows, and kind of did things backwards a little bit, because normally we would put out music, but we wanted our faces to be shown.
Also rewrote everything too.
And we as a band, it's I would say, like, this band itself has been a year.
Okay.
Because it's a brand new band, brand new sound.
So like, I've known Corey for 15 years, probably longer. I know that you love music, but I don't really know your bandmates as well as I know you. So did you guys play a lot on your own as well before you guys were hanging out? Yeah.
I played in a couple bands in high school and stuff like that with some older guys. And buddy down the street from me, Ranji, he was a phenomenal guitar player. So I'd go down there at like 15 years old and watch their band play.
Just like hang out,
hang out, right? Just like the young guy, right?
So I guess the reason why I asked is because, you know, like I'm 36. I'm getting older. I was never a musician I always wanted to be. And that's kind of how I found podcasting is it gave me the avenue to kind of be in the space, to be around people that I found were inspiring, creative, that really did cool shit and made really good music. Is that sort of how the band was formed? Like, were you guys all just kind of doing your thing, and in 2023 you guys were kind of like working, and then you kind of thought, well, fuck, why not make this serious and try to evolve the sound, work in a studio, have rehearsal space? Because that's basically what Charisse and I have been doing to try to reprogram what it is that we're trying to do.
Well, the number one thing is to have fun.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. You don't want to take it you take it seriously to a point that you want to try to create that sound and we all collectively, like, tell each other, like, what type of music that we're influenced by, right? Yeah. So, I mean, that kind of that's how everything evolved together into the sound of what you're hearing on this brand new album that we released on May 16th. So even with the new album, Find Yourself kind of represents on us finding ourselves.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
To your point about like playing in other bands, I've been drumming since I was 10, 11 years old, but like never like garage band stuff, like never really got a chance to play with actual like people, because every time you try to do something, it's a lot of commitment, a lot of time. That's true. It's hard to get everybody together, right? Yeah. So, and that was when we were kids. Now everyone has families and proper jobs. Yeah. But I've just been drumming at home and with my brother for forever, and then it's just this naturally clicked so well, because I've known Mike for a decade through work. Yeah. And then we used to joke, we're always like, oh, you play guitar, you play drums, we should jam. And then it's just something you say, you know what I mean? You never actually call each other. And then like he called me for this. And I was like, I couldn't believe we'd done this sooner. And I actually said no to them the first time, yeah. Corey messaged me on Facebook and said,
Yes.
right?
He's good at
I don't know how he found me
traditional
or how
wrangler.
the name.
Look at that.
He's just like, I know you're a drummer. We need a drummer. And it was like 2 weeks or something. He's like, can you learn like these 16 songs in like these 2 weeks? And I'm like, and there wasn't even a practice.
He had an ask.
Right?
He wasn't trying to like dick you around. He was like, 16 songs, you got 2 weeks, or you're out.
And then I honestly said no, because I was like, I wouldn't take it on and them expecting me like to nail it and then me ruin somebody else's thing. So I said no. And then they came back. I don't even know. It was a few weeks later. They're like, we really need a drummer. And I'm like, all right, it's not too often, like, you know what I mean? Somebody reaches back out. And the whole Red Cardinal.
Thinking about it?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to do it then,
Sweet.
too.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I just didn't think I could pull that off.
Teresa
But
is always good about saying timing has a way of finding you. It's maybe not fate or manifestation, but there's usually a time and place if it fits.
and that whole Red Cardinal about, like, it's in my family, I know I'm sure a lot of families, it, like, represents, like, you know, like, past family members, like, seeing you. So it was, like, this weird thing that Red Cardinal, like,
Kinda
hit me back
connected us
again.
that way.
It was just like, so it's like, I gotta say, yeah, and it was the best decision. Like, it was great.
Sometimes signs just do keep hitting you in the face until you get it.
Until you just
essentially.
give into it, yeah. But
I mean, with these guys, we just created a whole brotherhood, mainly. And like Scott said, it was just the right time.
So talk to us a little bit about what kind of music it is that you guys like and why it is that you guys found common ground on that and what kind of sound it is you're trying to conjure up now.
Want to chime in on this?
Yeah.
What do you like? What do you like?
Well, I think I think like the 90s, alternative like 2000, early 2000s. Yeah, we're very versatile in that sense. Like even one of the covers that we do at shows is by Alice in Chains called Nutshell.
Yeah.
So that's something. So sometimes Mike and I, like, even though like I'll do vocals, he'll back me up, but there are some songs that he'll actually go on his own and I'll back him up.
Mm-hmm.
So we've evolved so much that we've decided to share the stage. We even came up, actually Mike wrote a brand new Red Cardinal song, which is not on the album or anything like that, but that's what I mean. Like, we kind of talk with each other, we come up with the ideas, but yeah, I would say like the 90s, 90s alternative.
Bucket list artist.
To meet?
Yep.
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Oh my God.
Have a coffee.
Freddie Mercury.
Okay, cool. Love that.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder what he'd be saying today, you
Yeah,
know?
that's where I was driving and be like, man, can you imagine if you were in a band with Freddie Mercury? Like
In 2025.
and you know what I mean? It'd just be insane. I don't know.
I don't know if I'd
he's
want to
the
be
front
in.
man, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Or all of Queen, really, because Brian
Yeah.
May is one of my all-time favorite guitar players, right? So
what, Killer Queen, like every practice?
I play Bohemian Rhapsody and Killer Queen every day. So I don't like
you
for
probably
like
clocked my hat.
yeah, 100%. No,
Yeah.
it's something that I love. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And what about your favorite concert you've ever seen or would like to
Bare
see?
Naked Ladies.
Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh,
Cool.
yeah.
Where at?
Harbor Station.
Cool.
And some other offbeat arena in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
The one in Nova Scotia was dope because they opened up for themselves. So they had like a smaller stage and then
I
they
love
had the
that.
bigger stage. I'm like, hey, thanks for the Bare Naked Ladies for opening for us. And then they did better songs. It was sick. They're so good, so entertaining.
Okay, I like that. And I mean, of course they are, but I always say that about like the shows that throw down, you really have to have a good live show, you know? So
Oh yeah, no, they kill it. They sound like the record. They perform. They're entertaining. It's amazing.
okay.
Every penny is worth a ticket.
Okay, good to
Bare
know.
Naked is dope, yeah.
All right. How about you? Who's your favorite?
Band wise, probably The Who.
Okay, cool.
I'd love to hang out with Keith Moon. I think me and him would have had a great time together. Yeah, I think it would have been good. Best concert, I probably would have to say Pearl Jam. So yeah, that's probably was my favorite one.
When did you see Pearl Jam?
That would have been back in 2017.
Cool. Yeah. So that's a really good era too, right before like their new album, right before the pandemic. Everybody's like, you know, still loving life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Love that. Cor, what about you?
I would say I like to meet John Prine if I had the chance to.
Okay.
Reason why I like him so much reminds me of my own father, but the way his mannerisms, that John Prine's mannerisms, kind of like how his storytelling is. Like, I just really like his writing.
Gotcha.
And
Cool.
yeah, I guess I always fall back on John Prine whenever if I'm feeling down or I just want to relax or kick it back in my sunroom at my house. So
it gives you that safe feeling.
Yep.
Okay, how about you?
A recent concert I just seen actually was my favorite was the Red Clay Strays in Montreal. They were fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah. And well, I got 2 answers for like somebody you could play music with, like just drum nerd stuff. Benny Greb, for anybody out there. Yeah. He's an incredible musician, clinician. But then probably Chris Adler from Lamb of God. Like, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, that guy riffs.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, but there's so many like lists, and
I know.
And then
I've been to a lot of concerts.
From Blind Melon. I'd love to sit down with him.
and that goes back to all the different types of music that like we all listen to. Like Blind Melon, and he just said John Prine. Like I just said Lamb of God, and then Andrew the Who. Like those are all very different.
But one thing that it really does showcase is the variables of musicianship that you guys have and the sound and the way that they conjured up those things, the techniques, the pedals, the discipline, right? And all of them had a very unique way of going about themselves. And we know someone that actually dated Keith Moon. And Keith Moon apparently was a really great guy. He was a very thoughtful man, very chill. Very fun. And so he sounds like a solid guy to meet, and we've heard a lot of great stories about him. So like that's really cool that you mentioned him. But I think, the reason why we always like to ask that is when we are interviewing new bands.
Right.
One of the things we want people to know is of course you have love of and passion of music, but you're not trying to emulate that of your favorite artist. You're trying to come out with something different to bring to the industry, but also bring to music and the creative forefront.
Right. Couldn't sound like them if you wanted to.
No.
Because everybody's individuality, like it just naturally comes out like you.
And I honestly think that as we get older, and Charissa said this, like music is the equalizer to everything in our lives. So no matter what awful bullshit is going on or how much joy is going on in your life, if you've been laid off or you've had someone pass or whatever, some of those things happen in the same week. And it's very hard, and you need your people in your life. And music, for a lot of us, is that thing that is the safe space when we don't have somebody that we want to call about it, right? And I think it's so cool that you guys have found a group within each other, because it's so important from a mental health perspective, a physical health perspective, and just to be able to share the shit that you like with someone else. If I didn't have Charisse to be able to share all the concerts that we go to now and just the workload of our show and all those things, like I wouldn't be able to do it successfully. So I think it's important though for people to understand from an audience perspective when they're learning about a band and not just hear a song that they do and what makes them jive, but like what is it that makes them want to come to the table on Wednesday nights when it's plus 35 degrees and rehearse. And I think it's because you guys have been really, really diligent about your gigs, about your releases, the people you're going to be sharing stages with. And I think it's fucking dope. So props to y'all for doing the hard work. It's not easy. It's easy to not come tonight and do an interview when it's super fucking hot out. I get that.
It is like, for those listening, it's like with humidity in St. John, it's like 33 degrees, which is like unheard of.
It's pumping. Yeah, and I'm still in full jeans
Well, it makes this
and a
interview
denim
more
jacket.
epic to be the hottest day of the year.
It's great
The
for my
interview.
arthritis, though, because at least it's helping the swelling.
Showing our age.
Shout out to my swollen hands. But no, I like to ask those questions because I think it's so important to understand like why you guys even choose to be in a room together, right? Like when he asked you, hey, like we actually really still need that drummer. Like, are you sure you can't just like come out and hang for a minute and just see if you'd like this? And now it's something that I know people in my life, like when we podcast and stuff, it's such an important thing to be, I wouldn't say rigid, but like really disciplined about. Like Wednesday nights are our podcast nights. And we try to be very diligent and disciplined about that because when we don't do it, the show suffers.
Yep, absolutely.
So when you're not rehearsing, when you're not looking out to who else you're going to play with, what your live show looks like, you just end up being in the ecosphere, right? So
if you love it though, it's not hard. It's not hard to show up if you love it, right? Like I look forward to it every week, and if we miss a week, like obviously, like everyone's got schedules, but there's very few in the year and a half we've been together now, whatever, how long it's been. This 3, you know what I mean? Like we haven't missed like any. We all just like love coming. It's hilarious.
Communication is
like,
key too. Like we keep things split in the middle when it comes to family life and kids and friendships and stuff like that. That's mostly important. And then the balance of doing music, something that we love. Like we communicate with each other pretty well.
fantastic support, great wives,
Yes.
all very supportive wives too. Like good home lives on everybody too, so that helps a lot too.
Shout out to our wives.
Yeah, shout out to the wives.
Shout out to everybody who is supporting anyone who's trying to go out and create things. It's not usually very easy.
No.
Right, and it takes time and diligence and discipline as well, as we've mentioned.
But
right.
I find if you have creative ideas that you want to throw at the table, or like, oh, I got an idea, I'm gonna message so and so to try to get on the radio, or stuff like that. Like, I just got an email today because I took the initiative for the band to Route 104 from Halifax, and they got back to me and they say, I'd like to listen to a couple of songs from the album. I'm like, sweet.
And so, okay, hold on. This is the part of the show where Kate gives the marketing and PR advice. Sure. What Corey and the band is doing, as you see it, like, I understand, back in the day, I worked at Sierra, like, cold calling sucked. And, like, having to do, like, actual door-to-door sales and, like, hard jobs, customer-facing jobs are not great. But if you want something, you can't expect people to just know that you guys are out rehearsing, or that you're playing festivals, or that you're doing shit. You need to sometimes be like, hey, guys, your radio station, would you mind listening to a couple of our songs? Maybe you put them in rotation, because they're always looking for content, especially good shit. You guys riff. Like, I love your band, right?
And then Andrew, you said you got a hold of somebody from the Acadian broadcast.
Yeah, that's sick. And like it's the people who I feel they expect it, right? Or they expect the grants, and they don't apply, or they get upset when people are nominated. How come we didn't get nominated? You have to go out there and wave your wacky inflatable tube man. Okay, you have to sometimes. It's not douchey. It's not cringe. If you want to get out there, if you want more people to listen to you, you kind of have to show up sometimes. And if you want to hanker, it's fine to chill back, right? There's a bunch of other people trying to podcast, trying to be in bands. But if you want to make your mark, you do have to write to people once in a while. And with our show, we try to do that at least 5 to 10 times a week, where we just lobby ideas out. We ask people. We try to be very thoughtful in what our pitches are. And you usually get a response back, whether it's a yes or a no, right? And so we always like to share things from bands that are working. Reach out to the people that you want to work with. Right? So, and of course, if you're someone who would want to work with the band, please reach out to them on your socials, of course, or to us, and we can make the connection. But I think it's so important to share resources. It's so important to let people know what you're doing, because they don't know. And even if you think that your signs and your Facebook events and all those things are doing it, it's not doing it all. Right? So you have to once in a while tell people, hey, I'm playing a show next week. You should come out.
The classic way to doing it is to reach people in person too, I find.
Yeah.
Face to face, that's the best interactions you'll ever get. So I find with a lot of shows that we've built up even to this day is because we've reached out in person or a phone call.
And I'll say too, in business, I feel whether it's in business or music, people want to be around good people. They don't want to be around assholes. They don't want to be around divas. They don't want to be around people who are just like so prolific, but they won't look you in the eye when you come in and share a jam space, right? So I think that's why you see bands like the Bare Naked Ladies and Blue Rodeo and places like this that are so important to people. The Tragically Hip, bands like that made such a mark because they brought people along for the ride. And they weren't dicks after 10 years. They weren't shitty on the road to deal with. Everybody that runs into these types of people or these bands always has good things to say about them. So I think by being, accessible and actually enjoying what it is that you do, if it starts to not be enjoyable, you have to take a step back and self-care a little bit and want to show up again, right? So I think it's important to, sometimes just kind of take a temperature and try to figure it out.
I think at our live shows too, usually at the end of our live shows, we'll go up to pretty much everybody that's around the room that comes up to us and says, oh my gosh, that was awesome. We always say thank you. We're always giving high fives. We're always fist pumping each other on
People
stage.
Remember that shit.
Yeah.
Right? And me and Trace used to say it all the time, like a lot of bands would just expect, Hawk's in why aren't you at our show, man? What's going on? But yet you guys don't go out to your other buddies' shows. Right? And then everybody's just sitting around like circle jerking each other. Right. And for us, we're like, go out to other people's shows. Go out and support people. Even if you don't want to and you do not want to leave your Netflix show and your like Domino's Pizza. I don't half the time.
The Red Handed Fools. Shout out to the Red Handed Fools.
Yes.
Those guys just had their debut show.
Yeah.
We all went out and saw it. It was
Yeah, share it. Tell people, hey, this is a great video from this band. You should listen to it. It's 3.5 minutes long. It only takes a second for someone to turn the sound on, right? And I think we all need a little bit more of that, like, real connection and less of the BS now.
Absolutely.
You know, so I think, like, that's a big part in, I think, what we're all trying to provide here.
So tell us about your latest release. I have it right here. Find Yourself. Tell us about the recording and sort of what made you feel like it was time to put out an album like this.
Okay. So earlier I was mentioning we kind of did it backwards. We did the live shows first so we can kind of get people to see our faces mainly. But then a lot of people obviously come to question, like, well, you guys have music on Spotify. Do you have this and that? And we say, like, no, we don't really have anything. But we kind of built it up to save our money from past shows. And we have a label in Perth, Andover, New Brunswick called Folked Up Records. And the guy that runs it is Mitch Bigger, and he helped us a little bit with small grants to try to get this album out. The recording of the album was done through Derek Hilchie at Graywin Studios on Queen Street. And the process of that was... it was very smooth.
It was a mix-up at first, though. Like, when we were first starting, it was kind of like the development of the band. Like, we weren't happy with the recording, or like it wasn't exactly what we wanted. And then Derek contacted us, and like he had a vision.
We were recording with another guy at first,
right? And and then the recordings developed from there. And Derek really, helped us make this into a piece of art.
I've known Derek since I was 10 years old.
Oh, nice.
We went to elementary school together and then middle school. And in middle school, he was in a band called ADD.
Yes,
Anthony,
he told
Derek,
us about that
and Dustin.
band, yeah.
And they were a Blink-182 cover band. And they were awesome.
Yeah.
And we, in grade 6, I was like, oh my God, they're the best band ever. They're going to be playing with Blink-182. And I'm so glad to see that, you know, he's out there playing music, has had his own bands, is helping other bands. So, like, solid fella. Shout out, Derek.
Nice. No, the process, it was more, I think it was more on a scheduling thing for all of us, because it was like the start of December, I think it was.
Answer it live.
It's a Phil call-in. Let's go.
Got a caller.
Oh, it's work.
No, not now. This is where.
Zooms in on the call being declined.
So I guess what the process with Derek was, we sent them all the quick demos of us recording first off, and then we picked and choose what songs we wanted to do. So once he got to listen to it, like you guys said, that he had, like you said, he had a creative vision of what he can kind of see.
Which is nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely fine. Like, when it comes to production that way, it's not that you're changing the song, you're like evolving.
Yep.
Like, you're not even that. It helps us out with our live shows as well, like things that we wouldn't have thought of, because Derek is a pioneer when it comes to different instruments. It's crazy.
When you hear it back under a microscope, it sounds so different. You're like, that actually doesn't work the way like we thought it worked.
So for each track, it would take like a whole day. It would take from 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning till 7 p.m. at night. So we hash it out. We get the song done. That's it. So we did that, but on separate days, building up to before. When we got things finally done, I think it was just the first week of May, and then we were trying to get things finalized.
We 11th hour for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. So there was a lot of back and forth. Long story short, Derek got everything done, and then we got everything mastered through John Flanagan, who people know from Tomato.
Yeah.
He runs Parachute Mastering. Yeah. So he was on board with helping us make the sound nice and crisp for the songs. And that was the process for recording, so it took us a few months, but we didn't want to do like a full-length album. We just wanted something out so that people can kind of listen to an album for like 20 minutes on your drive to work. Yeah, exactly. Or wherever.
It also gives you a taste on how it's done and the work that goes into it and the structure.
It's a lot of work.
And if as a non-musician, from working with a lot of studio producers and people the last few years, Charisse and I, it actually helps you understand where your music is going if you understand what can be done by inserting yourself into those places sometimes and what you don't want on your albums. Right. When I recently watched the 4-part Tragically Hip series on Amazon.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how they added in like some piano parts and certain things, but then like those people weren't on the tour. And it made it very awkward for them. So there's sometimes where additions or certain things make sense, but
we did a little bit of that on the album too.
When you go to make your full-length album, you start to know what it is that you want zero of and what you want more of and where you want to go as musicians too. So I think that that's super cool, and it's better to do it the best quality, non-half-ass than to do it shitty. And I used to say that as a roller derby coach. Don't buy the skates that are going to bust apart after two tries. Buy the ones that you actually think you could do well in. And then if you really don't like roller derby, sell them. But don't buy the ones you're going to fail in just to go and spend more money on something. Same with music equipment, right? Don't buy a pedal that sucks.
Like, a lot of people say, like, a great guitar player in town named Jacob Fink, plays for Elevate the Virus, told me that because I was talking about buying some really expensive pedals, and I was like, I don't know if I need them. And then he told me that your experience is as good as the equipment. So if you buy like a piece of crap equipment, then you're just not going to like using it, and you're not going to use it. He's like, just buy what you want, and then. And I think that's sound advice. Yeah, I think that's great advice.
Take pride in it, right? Yeah, I absolutely agree.
But so the other question that you had about the album, so Red Cardinal, Find Yourself. So we all equally talked with each other about it, and Scott and I, what would be the best title of the album, and Scott said, Find Yourself. I mean, because mainly we did find ourselves in the long scheme of things, but also with a lot of the songs that are on the album kind of represent, different, like mental health wise, like a lot of the songs are based upon that growth, evolving, I think I said lost, and then friendship. Yeah. So like from the start of the album, when you got songs like The Moth, we actually all collectively, when we all finally formed our band, after a month later, we wrote that song.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
The Moth is an evolution, as what they metaphorically say. So if a butterfly or a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, it remembers who it was. But when a caterpillar turns into a moth, and I looked up this metaphor because, like I said, we went through a lot of changes before we were like, okay, this is Red Cardinal, this is the band. Yeah. And we were like, so if the caterpillar turns into a moth, it sheds its old self away and becomes something even better. So that's what the Moth represents as far as the band.
That's dope.
And the growth. Find Yourself is mainly about people that, not only people that need to find themselves, but it also you learn to find your own self. Mm-hmm. So that's how I wrote the lyrics for the song, because I was going through something with a close friend way back in the day that kind of went through a different path in life. Yeah. And then sometimes people like that, you try so hard. Yeah. And you're hoping for the best for them, but you're also got to reflect on yourself.
Yeah, and where you're
like
at.
How are you feeling? How is this affecting your mental health? What can you do better? So that's what Find Yourself is. Stranger Days was written from loss, from losing somebody, but feeling the effects of sadness and anger. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of more of an upbeat tune, even though if it might sound sad, it's also kind of mixed emotions behind that. Flimsy is... So when you get through the emotions in life, something that has impacted you, and you carry that with you, but you're still living your positive life, but sometimes within seconds on looking in the mirror sometimes, or if you have a moment of silence, you kind of think of that thought. So sometimes, the word flimsy kind of resembles flexing back of your emotions to something that was negative, but you kind of keep moving on from that. And then Old Towns is... it's actually a positive, uplifting song at the end of it. So when you kind of go through it to the end, when you go to Old Towns, you kind of think back where you grew up.
Yeah, love that.
And how you were raised and who you are. So everything, as far what I think, I don't think we technically did it on purpose, but the way it was lined up kind of made sense. So even though it's a short album, it's also it's got a lot of meaning to it when you go from start to finish.
I love that.
Do you have a favorite track?
So, do I have a favorite track?
Is it like choosing like your favorite child?
I love The Moth because it's ours as a band.
Yeah.
I love my guitar and solo and flimsy though.
Mine would have to be Stranger Days. Before I worked with Corey, that was one of his solo songs. And I know we brushed up on the history behind it, but there's a little bit more to it. And, it's a very touching story. So that's why I have to say that's my favorite. And we had a lot of fun recording that one.
I would definitely say the Moth because it was something strong. And as a band, like, we've evolved so much. And then I also agree with Stranger Days. I've written that song like a while back. But I love all the songs on the album because even with having discussions with these guys on the writing techniques and what these guys were able to bring to the table, all of us bringing to the table to what it was going to sound like. And I think emotionally and the work that we put in is what made this album.
I gotta say, mine would be Find Yourself. Yeah. Everyone says everything else. I seem to be the only one that likes Find Yourself. But it's
you're
also
the one who was trying to find yourself in the band 3 weeks later, so that's probably
fair
why
enough.
It's your favorite. I'm just joking.
It's also my favorite one to play. It's just like a really fun song. Like we tie that in with a song that we have called This Heart. Yep. And then we played both of them as kind of just one long song, but it just leads into Find Yourself and. Just a really, like, Mike's guitar riff, and that's great. Like, Andrew's bass is driving that whole song. It's just, like, a really good, I think all the songs are kind of the same length, but that one feels like almost like a journey, like a long-form song. And there's, like a decline that it builds back up. And Corey's vocals hit real high at a certain point, and it's just, I fucking love it.
Thank you.
You guys are just the nicest people to actually hang out with each other. Not a lot of bands love hanging out.
Well, like, while we were setting up, like, just hearing you guys even made a joke of it, like, just brother all the time, and it's so sweet. Brother. Like, it's so.
Your stuff is very thoughtful, and I appreciate that because you don't see a lot of that anymore, even with a lot of really famous bands that are still putting out music, and the way that they're putting out their stage performances and things like that. It's just not as thoughtful. And the fact that you guys it seems that you're so prideful when you're talking about these songs and the way it's come together. I could only honestly be super stoked to see more of what you do. And when I think about knowing Corey for as long as I have, just because that's my personal tie, like, Corey's one of the hardest working people that I know. Pretend Corey's not here because it's awkward. But it's his interview. But, like, Corey's one of the hardest working people I know. He's he's probably one of the best parents that I know. And when I see you guys talk amongst each other, I see that you actually enjoy hanging out with each other and that there's a real level of respect. And it's really interesting when bands can actually create that dynamic because a lot of cool shit can be done when you're not always trying to step on each other's necks to try to play a super fucking cool riff or show your cool fractal unit that you just bought or, like, whatever it is that you're looking to get. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's really important to try to just be there for each other and to grow as things happen as a band, and you don't see that a lot anymore. People are just trying to whip out shit all the time.
We enjoy doing this just for playing, and I think if you got together as a group and you're just like, we're doing this group because we're going to try to be famous, it's just going to fall apart. It's all for the wrong reasons.
I mean, we're going to be famous.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, like, because we have so much fun, it's just like it's hanging out first, and then because we love it so much, it's the consistency's there, and, like, it's showing, like, it's starting to take off to something, and it's not about anything else other than just playing.
I'm super super happy that you guys invited us in for a chat, and, like, I genuinely love your tunes. I love your band. I support all of you. I just know Corey, so I see it mostly through him. So I will start seeing it more through you guys. But as someone who's watched Corey also evolve through playing so many shows and just really just trying to get out there and evolve his guitar playing. And I seen you level up your gear every once in a while and buy a new amp for yourself once in a while and work really hard to get to where you're at.
Well, Mike's really pushing me on power chords right now, so I'm really trying because all I really mostly do a lot of times, even when I'm doing my solo stuff, is all basic chords.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm having fun with it and all.
But, like, honestly, like, as your friend and as, like, I think it's really fucking cool to see how much you've loved some of the bands that we mutually share and to be sharing a stage with some of them in a couple of months. Like, how fucking cool is that?
I know.
Like, how cool is that?
dope.
Right? And so, like, I just think that that's really important to know. Like, how many times have you gone to see Dallas Green play? And and go out there. Now you're going to be sharing the same stage.
Well,
right?
Earlier when you said about concerts, he would have been one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Top.
Yeah.
I've seen him play with what was the band? 8-piece band. It was in Moncton.
Yeah.
I think. Anyway, the last time I seen him playing, it's just incredible. But just to actually hear that Alexisonfire is playing Area 506, and then we're going to be on the same.
Yeah, you guys will just be floating. He'll say hello.
Right? But we're going to play cool. I mean,
and you have to, right? But
yeah.
I think it's important for me as your friend to mention that, because hard work pays off. And when you do it half-ass and you're really nilly about it and you're expecting shit and you're full of your ego, you don't get shit. And when you're humble and you're least expecting it and you lobby out those calls once in a while to Acadia Broadcasting and to the radio stations and to different people, right? You start to notice that people actually want to help you on your album, that people want to help you with grants. They want to help you with marketing. They want to help you get your music out. So I think, like, if anyone's listening and you're in that position, maybe you've not made an album yet. Maybe you've not listened to this one yet. Do yourself a damn favor and, like, get your socks pulled up and, like, listen to this album and get some fire under your feet, because this is crazy.
Where can people find and listen to this?
On all streaming platforms. So Spotify is a big one. Apple Music.
Yeah.
And YouTube. All the Amazon, Bandcamp.
And is this where they can buy the CD as well?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. And we have physical copies. Usually we have them at our live shows and stuff. So we're trying to figure out the kinks on that.
Gotcha.
Because we've had a lot of people messaging us like, oh, do you guys deliver? So, I mean, as us pushing this and trying to sell, it's a lot of work, but it's a learning thing for us as well. But at the same time, we keep pushing. Like Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
So when you're trying new things, or
Jordan, we haven't shouted out Jordan yet.
Oh yes, right. So the artwork. So Andrew, you want to fill in on like who the person is on the album, actually?
Yeah. No. Sure. No, I bumped into Jordan one day, and yeah, he made this cover for us, and Corey sent it to us. You know, I fell in love with it when he first made it, and then I bumped into Jordan later that day, and then I was like, oh man, you know, awesome artwork and stuff. And he was taking one of his kids to Taekwondo with his family, and then I was like, no, that's like, you know, the effects, and I was like, you know, you must have did like a lot of work with AI on that. And then I think he was almost mad at me for saying that, because he's like, no. He's like, I don't work with AI. That's
like,
real
I worked
stuff.
on it. Yeah. He's like, there's layers in here, buddy.
Yeah. He's like, that's actually my wife in the picture. And then I was like, oh, no shit. And then she's like right there next to him. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. So yeah. So
I also didn't know it was her. That's really cool.
We're finding all the exclusives on today's episode of Strange Grooves, my crew.
Yeah. So I mean,
Capsize Creative, I believe is his.
Yep. Capsize Creative. Yeah, we let Jordan Larson take control of the creativity as to what he thought Find Yourself was, and this is what he put. And with a lot of the colors and stuff, and even like with the colors that he put in, actually reminded me of one of Dallas Green, City in Colors albums, Pill for Loneliness, with all that. So the photo inside of us and signatures everywhere.
Love that.
Get your signature from my father there.
Yeah, I know. I'll sign it for your dad.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for letting us
thank
come
you
in
for having us.
and chill.
We'll fucking see you at the Area 506 stage,
yeah.
rocking out with these guys in the front row. You have to fight us for the bar, so
Opening August 3rd.
it's going to be pretty awesome, and we'll see you there. And until next time, everybody, what do we say here? Keep it strange.
If you've enjoyed this, then you have to hit strangegrooves.com for more amazing content. To support this podcast and music community, go to patreon.com/strangegrooves. As always, keep it strange.